I wasn't planning to tell anyone this, but how do you explain waking up in someone else's bed after swearing you'd only have one drink? My heart's racing as I sit in this dimly lit bar, the clink of glasses and hum of chatter wrapping around me like a blanket. I can't shake off. It's a Friday night, and I'm here because Jake, my coworker with a smile that could sell ice in a blizzard, insisted I join the team for drinks. I'm not a big drinker, never have been. I'm the one who sips water at parties, always in control, always the good girl. But Jake's got this way of making you feel like saying no is a personal insult. So here I am, my fingers nervously tracing the rim of a cocktail glass, the sharp tang of lime hitting my nose. I should have known better. I'm 26, working my first real marketing job, trying to fit in without losing myself. Jake's the office charmer, always quick with a joke. But there's something about his intensity that makes my stomach twist. My best friend Mia warned me about him, her voice sharp over the phone last week. He's trouble. Trust me. But I brushed it off. I'm not naive. I can handle a night out. Or so I thought. The bar's warm, the lights casting soft shadows on the wooden tables, and Jake's leaning in his cologne sharp and spicy. Just one drink, I tell him, my voice firm. He laughs, his eyes glinting. That's what they all say. Looking back, that moment felt like a fork in the road. I could have left, called Mia, gone home to my cozy apartment and my cat Luna. But I stayed caught up in the laughter, the music, the buzz of being included. I didn't want to be the outsider again, the new girl who doesn't vibe with the team. My need to please people, it's my biggest flaw, always has been. Mia's the opposite, fierce and unapologetic, the one who'd drag me out of this bar if she were here. But she's not. It's just me, Jake, and this drink I didn't even want. The first sip burns my throat, and I wince, which makes Jake chuckle. Lightweight, he teases, and I force a smile. The bar's getting louder, the air thick with perfume and spilled beer. I glance at my phone. 10:37 p.m. I tell myself I'll leave soon, but Jake's already ordering another round. My glass is half empty, and I'm already feeling the warmth spreading through me. I think about Mia's warning again, her words echoing like a distant alarm bell. I push it down. It's just one night, just one drink. What's the worst that could happen? But as Jake leans closer, his hand brushing mine, I feel a flicker of unease. The stakes are higher than I realized, not just my pride but my sense of who I am. I'm not this person, am I? The one who lets a charming smile unravel her boundaries. I take another sip, the ice clinking softly, and tell myself I'm in control. But am I? What happens when just one drink turns into something I can't undo? The bar is pulsing now, the music louder, the air thicker with laughter and clinking glasses. I'm still clutching my cocktail, the ice melting into a watery pool, but Jake's already sliding another drink my way. Come on, live a little, he says, his voice smooth, his eyes locked on mine. I hesitate, my fingers tightening around the glass. I told myself one drink, but the warmth from the first is loosening my edges, making it harder to say no. My need to fit in, to not seem like the boring new girl, is wrestling with the part of me that knows better. I glance around our coworkers, a laughing oblivious lost in their own conversations. It's just me and Jake at this end of the table, and that feels like a choice I didn't mean to make. I take a sip of the new drink, the sweet burn of vodka hitting my throat. One more won't hurt, right? I say, half joking, but the words feel like a surrender. Jake grins, raising his glass. That's the spirit. It's a line I'll replay later, a moment I wish I could rewind. I'm not drunk, not yet, but I'm tipsy enough to feel the room tilt, to laugh a little too loudly at his stories. Jake's charismatic, the kind of guy who makes everyone feel special, but there's an edge to him, a pushiness that's starting to grate. He's leaning closer, his arm brushing mine, and I shift back, trying to keep space between us. My phone buzzes. Mia's name lights up the screen. "You okay?" her text reads. I stare at it, guilt prickling my skin. I should text back, tell her I'm fine, but my fingers hover, uncertain. Mia's my rock, the one who'd call me out for even being here. Last week she said Jake's the kind who takes what he wants. I laughed it off, but now her words are clawing at me. I shove my phone into my purse, the leather strap cool against my palm, and take another sip. I'm fine, I tell myself. I'm in control. But am I? The drinks keep coming, and I'm not saying no. Jake's stories get funnier, his compliments bolder. "You're different, you know that," he says, his voice low. My cheeks flush, and I hate how part of me likes the attention. I've always been the good girl, the one who follows rules. But tonight, I'm slipping. My internal conflict is screaming control versus temptation, safety versus thrill. I think about that first drink, the clink of glasses in the bar's warm glow, and how it felt like a harmless choice. Now I'm 3 drinks in, and the line I swore I wouldn't cross is blurring. Jake's hand grazes my knee under the table, and I freeze the touch like a jolt. "Relax," he says, laughing. But it doesn't feel like a joke. I pull back, my heart thudding, and force a smile. "I'm good," I say, my voice shakier than I'd like. The bar's too loud, too warm, and I'm losing track of time. My phone's probably buzzing again. Mia's worry piling up, but I can't face it. I'm in too deep, and the night's spiraling. How did I get here? How did just one drink turn into this? The bar's a haze now, the jukebox humming a familiar pop song that cuts through the chatter. My head's fuzzy, the vodka warming my veins, but there's a knot in my stomach that won't loosen. Jake's still talking, his voice a steady hum, but his hand's back on my arm, lingering too long. I laugh at his joke, something about office gossip. But it's forced my giggles, masking the unease creeping up my spine. The room's spinning slightly, and I grip the edge of the table, the rough wood grounding me. I'm not drunk, but I'm past tipsy, and every choice feels slippery, like I'm walking on ice. Jake's charm is in full force, his hazel eyes catching the bar's dim lights. "You're fun when you loosen up," he says, smirking, and I feel a flicker of pride before it sours. Fun? Is that what this is? I think about Mia, her warning about Jake echoing from that phone call last week. He's trouble. I brushed it off, but now I'm wondering if I misread everything. The jukebox shifts to a slower song, the bass vibrating through my chest, and Jake leans closer, his cologne sharp. "Wanna dance?" he asks, his tone playful but pointed. I shake my head, forcing a smile. "I'm good here," I say, my voice barely steady. He shrugs, unbothered, but his eyes don't leave mine, and it feels like a challenge. The bar's packed now, our coworkers long gone to another table, and it's just us in this corner, the air thick with something I can't name. I try to pivot, cracking a joke about our boss's terrible coffee obsession, hoping to lighten the mood. Jake laughs, but it's a distraction, a brief detour from the tension. For a moment, I'm in control again, steering the night back to safe ground. But then he's pouring another round, the liquid glinting in the glass, and I don't stop him. Why don't I stop him? My people-pleasing side is winning the part that hates conflict, that wants to keep things easy. I sip the drink, the cold bite of it snapping me awake, but not enough. Jake's talking about his weekend plans, but his hand's on my chair now, close enough to feel personal. You should come out with me again, he says, and it's not a question. My gut's screaming to leave, but my body's heavy, my resolve fraying. I think about that first drink, the clink of glasses, hours ago, how I told myself I'd stay in control. Now I'm losing the thread, and Jake's confidence is swallowing the space between us. The jukebox's melody feels like a countdown, each note pulling me closer to a line I don't want to cross. I glance at my purse, where my phone's buried, Mia's texts probably piling up. If I call her, she'll come get me, no questions asked. But I don't move. I'm caught torn between escaping and staying, between who I am and who I'm letting myself become. Am I misreading Jake's intentions, or is this exactly what he planned? I wake up to the faint hum of a ceiling fan, my head pounding like a drum. The sheets are unfamiliar, soft but wrong, and the room smells faintly of cedar and last night's cologne. I'm in Jake's bed. My stomach lurches as the reality hits sharp and unrelenting. My clothes are scattered on the floor, my shoes by the door, and the weight of shame presses down like a physical thing. I sit up, clutching the blanket, the fabric rough against my skin. How did I get here? The night's a blur. Flashes of laughter. Jake's hand on mine. The bar's warm glow, but the details slip away like sand. I grab my phone from the nightstand. Some 14 a.m. 3 missed calls from Mia and a text. Where are you? I'm worried. Guilt stabs me, a callback to her warning about Jake. I was so sure I could handle him, handle myself. Now I'm piecing together fragments, the drinks, his arm around me. A cab ride. I barely remember. What have I done? I whisper, my voice cracking. It's a line I can already hear clipped for a TikTok, raw and real. My reflection in Jake's mirror shows smudged mascara, a stranger staring back. I'm not this person, the one who loses control, who ends up here. Jake's still asleep, his breathing steady, his charm disarmed for now. I slip out of bed, my bare feet cold on the hardwood, and dress quickly, my hands shaking. I need to get out before he wakes up, before I have to face him. But the bigger fear is facing Mia. She's my anchor, fiercely loyal. The one who'd drop everything for me. How do I tell her I ignored her advice and proved her right? My reputation, my self-respect. It's all on the line now, and I can feel the stakes tightening around me. I step outside the morning air sharp and call Mia. I messed up, I say when she answers, my voice small. Can you pick me up? She doesn't hesitate. Text me the address. I'm coming. Her voice is steady, but I hear the disappointment underneath, and it cuts deeper than I expected. Sitting on the curb, the concrete cold through my jeans, I replay the night, searching for the moment I could have stopped it. That first drink. The second. When Jake's hand grazed my knee, I was so desperate to fit in, to be liked, that I let my boundaries dissolve. Mia's car pulls up and I climb in, avoiding her eyes. You okay? She asks, her tone gentle but firm. I nod, but the lie feels heavy. I'm not okay. I'm terrified of what this means, of who I'm becoming. The car's quiet, the hum of the engine, a faint echo of the bar's jukebox. I want to spill everything, but the words stick. What happens when this gets out? Will Jake talk? Will work become a minefield of whispers? Comment your worst regret below. I need to know I'm not alone. But right now, as Mia drives, one question burns. How do I face myself after this? Mia's car feels like a confessional. The silence between us heavier than the morning fog outside. My head's still throbbing, but it's the guilt that's louder clawing at me. As I stare at my hands, nails chipped from last night's chaos. I'm supposed to be the careful one, the planner, but I've unraveled everything with one stupid night. Mia's driving her jaw tight, and I know she's waiting for me to speak. I owe her the truth, but admitting it feels like peeling off my skin. My internal conflict is a storm. Part of me wants to hide to pretend this didn't happen, but another part knows I can't outrun this. I ended up at Jake's. I finally say, my voice barely above a whisper. The words hang in the air, sharp and ugly. Mia's eyes flick to me, then back to the road. You slept with him? She asks, not accusing, just clarifying. I nod, my throat tight. The crunch of leaves under the tires as she pulls into a coffee shop lot grounds me a sensory anchor in the haze. I didn't mean to, I add, but it sounds hollow, like an excuse. Mia sighs, parking the car. You don't have to explain. Just, are you okay? That question breaks me. My eyes burn and I blink hard, trying to hold it together. I don't know. I admit the emotional moment, raw and jagged. I think back to that first drink, the clink of glasses, how I told myself I was in control. Now I'm drowning in the fallout. Mia's disappointment stings because she's always believed in me, seen the best in me. Letting her down feels worse than letting myself down. I ignored you, I say. You warned me about Jake and I thought I could handle it. Mia turns to me, her expression soft but unflinching. You're human, we mess up, but you gotta own it now. Her words are tough love, the kind only she can deliver. I nod, but owning it means facing the truth. I crossed a line I swore I'd never cross. My need to please, to be liked, pushed me into a choice I can't undo. Work looms in my mind. Jake's there, our coworkers are there, and the thought of facing them tomorrow twists my stomach. What if he brags? What if I'm the punchline now? We sit in silence, the coffee shop's neon sign buzzing faintly through the window. I'm torn between hiding and fighting, between shame and the faint spark of wanting to reclaim myself. Mia's loyalty, her being here despite my mistake, echoes her warning from last week. She's still my rock, but I know I've shaken her trust. The weight of that sits heavy. I want to fix this, to be the person I thought I was, but it starts with admitting I'm not there yet. Can I forgive myself for this, or will this night define me? Monday morning hits like a freight train. The office air thick with the hum of keyboards and coffee machine whirs. I'm at my desk, my stomach churning, trying to act normal, while every glance feels like a judgment. Words spreading, Jake's been talking. I overheard a coworker whisper "party girl" in the break room, and my face burned. My internal conflict is relentless. I want to disappear, but I also want to scream that I'm not who they think I am. My reputation, the one I've carefully built as the reliable new girl, is cracking, and the stakes feel higher than ever. The soft click of my mouse is my only anchor, grounding me as I pretend to focus on spreadsheets. Jake's across the room laughing with a colleague, his charm on full display. He hasn't looked my way, but I know he's the source. Last night Mia texted me a screenshot from a group chat, Jake's vague smug comment about a wild night. I thought I could handle it, I mutter to myself, a line that could go viral on a clip raw with regret. Mia's tough love from the car ride echoes, own it. But owning it feels impossible when I'm drowning in whispers. My phone buzzes, Mia again. You got this, don't let him win. Her loyalty pulls me back, but it's not enough to quiet the panic. I head to the bathroom, splashing cold water on my face, the chill a sharp sensory jolt. Staring in the mirror, I barely recognize myself. bags under my eyes, confidence gone. I think about that first drink, the clink of glasses, how I let Jake's charm override my gut. Now my coworkers' side eyes and Jake's gossip are unraveling everything. My best friend's trust, my self-respect, even my job could be on the line if this spirals. I'm torn between confronting him and staying quiet, hoping it blows over. But silence feels like letting him control the narrative. Back at my desk, a coworker Sarah stops by. "Heard you had fun Friday," she says, her tone teasing, but sharp. I force a smile, my heart racing. "Just a night out," I say, but her raised eyebrow says she's not buying it. The office feels smaller, like the walls are closing in. Mia's words keep looping, "Don't let him win." But winning means facing Jake, facing the rumors, facing myself. I'm not ready, but I'm running out of time. If I don't speak up, this story becomes his to tell. And I'm just the girl who couldn't say no. The weight of that possibility is crushing. As the day drags on, I catch Jake's eye across the room. He smirks and something in me snaps. I can't keep hiding. But confronting him means risking more gossip, more judgment. My hands tremble as I type an email to HR, then delete it. What's the right move? Will my reputation survive this, or am I fighting a losing battle? The office clock ticks toward 5 p.m., each second amplifying the knot in my chest. I've spent all day dodging whispers and Jake's smug glances, but I'm done hiding. My vulnerability, the shame that's been choking me since waking in his bed, is shifting into something else, resolve. I need to confront him, not just for my reputation, but for myself. Mia's words from the car ride echo, "Own it." I'm terrified, but staying silent feels like betraying the person I want to be. My fingers tap nervously on my desk, the smooth plastic of faint sensory anchor, as I steel myself. I catch Jake alone by the coffee machine, his back to me pouring creamer, like nothing's wrong. "We need to talk," I say, my voice steadier than I feel. He turns, his smirk faltering for a split second, about what he asks, leaning casually against the counter. His charm's still there, but it's flimsier now, like a mask I can see through. "You're talking about Friday," I say, stepping closer. It needs to stop. My heart's pounding, but this is the emotional moment I've been building, toward reclaiming my voice, my story. Jake shrugs, his tone light, but edged. I didn't say anything that wasn't true. His words sting, a callback to the bar, to my own choices, but I'm not letting him twist this. "You don't get to decide what's true about me," I say, my voice rising. "I messed up, but you don't get to spread it like a trophy." His eyes narrow, but he doesn't push back. For the first time I see him hesitate, and it fuels me. I'm not the good girl who'll stay quiet anymore. I'm done pleasing people at my own expense. I walk away, my pulse racing, feeling lighter, but not free. Later I call Mia, spilling everything. "You did good," she says, her voice warm, her loyalty a steady anchor like always. "I'm proud of you." Her words hit deep, soothing the raw edges of my guilt. She's been my rock through this, even when I let her down. Confronting Jake doesn't erase the rumors, or the night I regret, but it's a start. I'm rebuilding trust with Mia, with myself, one step at a time. Back home I sit on my couch, Luna purring beside me. The weight of the week still lingers, but I feel a shift. Owning my mistake, speaking up, it's changed something in me. I'm not defined by that night, by Jake's gossip, or by who I was in that bar. The stakes, my self-respect, my relationships are clearer now. I'm learning to set boundaries, to value my voice. It's not perfect, but it's progress. Can I keep this strength, or will old habits pull me back? It's been a month since that night, and I'm sitting on my balcony, the cool evening air brushing my skin, a mug of tea warming my hands. The city hums below, a soft backdrop to my thoughts, as I piece together what I've learned. The shame that consumed me after waking in Jake's bed has dulled, replaced by a quiet strength I didn't know I had. This journey, owning my mistake, confronting Jake, rebuilding trust with Mia, has reshaped me. The title of this story, Just One Drink, feels like a distant echo, now a reminder of how quickly choices can spiral, but also of how we can grow from them. I sip my tea, the steam curling in the air, a sensory anchor grounding me. That night tested everything, my self-respect, my boundaries, my relationships. I think back to the clink of glasses in the bar, how I let my need to please override my instincts. I was so afraid of being the outsider that I lost myself. But facing Jake, hearing Mia's pride in me, showed me I'm more than my worst moment. Accountability isn't just about admitting fault, it's about choosing who you want to be next. Works better now. The rumors faded after I spoke up, and Jake's charm doesn't hold the same power. I've set clearer boundaries, saying no without guilt, and it feels like freedom. Mia and I are stronger too. Her loyalty never wavered, even when I stumbled. You're tougher than you think, she told me last week, and I'm starting to believe her. That's the revelation: my mistakes don't define me. How I respond does. I'm not perfect. I still catch myself wanting to please others, but I'm learning to pause, to listen to my gut. This experience, messy as it was, taught me self-respect is worth fighting for. I'm sharing this because I know I'm not alone. What's a lesson you learned the hard way? Comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. We all have moments we'd redo, but they shape us too. As the sun dips below the skyline, I lean back, Luna, curling up beside me. The weight of that night will always linger, a quiet scar, but it's not the whole story. I'm moving forward, a little wiser, a little braver. Life's messy, but so is growth, and maybe that's enough for now.